So, good morning. Today we are going to see the topic Boolean algebra and logic gates. This is the second major topic of our first unit. So, what is Boolean algebra? So, Boolean algebra is invented by Mr. George Boole in the year 1854. So, it is a branch of mathematics that deals with operation on logical values with the binary variables. It is a branch of So Boolean variables are represented as binary numbers, two truths. One is equal to true and zero is equal to false. The Boolean variables are represented as binary numbers, two truths. So one is equal to true and zero is equal to false. Or in other words, we'll be saying one is equal to high and zero is equal to low. This Boolean algebra is an algebraic structure defined by a set 0, 1. So in Boolean algebra, we are using only two numbers 0 and 1. So it is defined by the set B is equal to 0, 1 together with two binary operators and OR. This is AND operator and this is OR operator and a unary operator complement. This unary operator is complement. So this is a complement. If you put a line over an alphabet or variable, then the meaning of it is complement. So Boolean algebra is invented by George Boole in 1854. It is a branch of mathematics that deals with operations on logical values with binary variables. Only two variables we are using, and the operation it deals with the logical operations. So in Boolean, the Boolean algebra is a algebraic structures. It is defined by the set B 0, 1 together with binary operators and OR and this is AND operator and this is OR operator and a unary operator complement. The main difference between ordinary algebra and Boolean algebra is Boolean algebra, elementary algebra deals with numerical operations and our Boolean algebra deals with the logical operation. So ordinary algebra it deals with the numerical operations and Boolean algebra deals with the logical operations. So it is an algebraic structures defined by the set B 0, 1 with the two binary operators and OR and one unary operator complement. So the difference between ordinary algebra and Boolean algebra is ordinary algebra deals with numerical operation and Boolean algebra deals with the logical operation. So the use of Boolean algebra is it is used to analyze and simplify digital circuits. Now fundamental postulates. We are going to see the what are the fundamental postulates we are having. The fundamental postulates are it is having two distinct values. So this Boolean algebra is having only two distinct values 0, 1 and it is having two binary operations and OR. So these are the two binary operation and OR. So AND is denoted by a dot or star and OR is denoted by a plus. Usually we will be denoting AND by a dot. Next we are having a unary operator. Unary operator means a bar, a small line over an variable, that is complement. Next there are 7 basic fundamental postulates. First one is identity, second one commutative, third one associative, fourth one additive, fifth one multiplicative, sixth one complementation, seventh one distributive. So the seven basic fundamental postulates in Boolean algebra are identity, commutative, associative, additive, multiplicative, complementation, and distributive. These are the seven basic fundamental postulates. What are the seven basic fundamental postulates? Identity, commutative, associative, additive, multiplicative, complementation, and distributive. These are the seven basic fundamental properties. First, identity property. Identity property means A plus A is equal to A, or A into A is equal to A. This is OR operation and this is AND operation. Or in other words, we can say when you are ORing A plus A, you will be getting A. Similarly, when you are ANDing A into A, you will be getting A. Next, commutative property. So A plus B can be written as B plus A. So next one, A into B is equal to B into A. These two are commutative property. So A plus B is equal to B plus A, and A into B is equal to B into A. These two are commutative property. Next one is associative property. Associative property is if you are having three variables, ORing first two variables and then ORing that result with the third variable is equal to ORing the second and the third variable and then ORing that result with the first variable. So if you consider you are having three variables A, B and C. So what associative property is saying is A, first we are taking these two variables A plus B, A plus B. For example, you assume that you are getting X as result. So that X plus C you are doing, that is equal to B plus C. You can take it as X. So A plus X is equal to X plus. So actual meaning of this is if you are having three variables, ORing first two and then ORing that result with the third one will be equal to ORing the second and third and then ORing that result with the first. So A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. So in terms of AND operation, it can be written as A into B into C is equal to B into C into A. So this is associative property. So next one is additive property. Additive property is A plus 1 is equal to 1. So in other words, we can say that, so this is an OR operation. So plus is OR operation and dot is AND operation. In OR operation, if one of the variable is 1, then the output is 1. So this is additive property. A plus 1 is equal to 1. Here A plus 0 is equal to A. A plus 0 is equal to A. Multiplicative property. A into 1 is equal to A. A into 0 is equal to 0. So I will explain once more. So before studying this property, we have to know one thing. So in OR operation or in OR gate, the output will be 1 if any one of the input is 1. So what is OR operation? In OR operation, output will be 1 if any one of the input is 1. Similarly, in AND operation, output will be 1 if all the inputs are 1. So you have to remember two things. In OR operation, output is 1 if any one of the input is 1. In AND operation, output is 1 if all the inputs are 1. Now you come to here. What type of operation it is? It is OR operation. So here you are having A plus 1. So one of the input is 1. So automatically the output will be 1. Now you come to this operation. Here one of the input is 0. So the output depends upon the other input. If this input is 1, then the output will be 1. If this input is 0, then the output will be 0. So we have written as A plus 0 is equal to A. Now multiplicative property. What type of operation this is? This is AND operation. So in AND operation, output depends on both the inputs. If both the inputs are 1, the output will be 1. So here one of the input is 1. So if the another input is 1, the output will be 1. If another input is 0, then the output will be 0. So we have written as A dot 1 is equal to A. Why? Because the output depends upon this input, because already one input is 1. Now you come to this one. Here A dot 0 is equal to 0. Here one of the input is 0. I already told you that in AND operation, the output will be 1 if all the inputs are 1. Already one input is 0. So the output will becomes 0 irrespective of the other input. Now complementary property. A plus A bar is equal to 1. You take A is equal to 0. What is A bar? Then A bar will become 1. So you know that this is our operation. If one of the input is 1, the output will become 1. Now you take A is equal to 1. If you take A is equal to 1, what is A bar? 0. So since one of the input is 1, output will become 1. So here you take this one. What is A? You take A as 0. What is A bar? A bar is 1. So what type of operation this is? This is AND operation. In AND operation, if one of the input is 0, output will be 0. Now you take A is equal to 1. What is A bar? 0. Since this is AND operation, if one of the input is 0, output will become 0. Now distributive property. What distributive property is saying is A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus A into C. Similarly, A plus B into C is equal to A plus B into A plus C. So this is distributive property. What is distributive property? A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus A into C. Next one, A plus B into C is equal to A plus B into A plus C. So all these properties are restricted only to only for Boolean functions of digital circuits, and it will be incorrect for the real ones. So we have studied the 7 properties of Boolean algebra. We have studied what is Boolean algebra and the 7 properties of Boolean algebra in detail. So 2 operations we have studied. One is AND operation and another one is OR operation. In AND operation, the output will be 1 if all the inputs are 1. But in the case of OR input, the output will be 1 even if one of the input is 1. Next, we are going to see the complementation laws. The term complements means to invert. That is, if you are having 0, you have to change it to 1, and if you are having 1, we have to change it to 0. So complementation means if you are having 0, we have to change it to 1, and if you are having 1, we have to change it to 0. So the other name of complementation is nothing but inversion or invert. The 5 complementation laws are: 1 bar. Usually we will be writing like this. See, 0 bar is equal to 1. 1 bar is equal to 0. If A is equal to 0, A bar is 1. If A is 1, A bar is 0. Then A double bar is equal to A. So the last one, A double bar is equal to A. We will take an example. You take A is equal to 1. So if you take A bar, you will be getting 0. So if we again take this A bar, one more complement, you will be getting 1. So A double bar is equal to A. So 0 bar is 1, 1 bar is 0. If A is 0, A bar is 1. If A is 1, A bar is 0. A double bar is A. Next, AND loss. So already we have studied. In AND, if both the inputs are 0, if both the inputs are 1, output is 1. Even if one of the input is 0, output is 0. So this is an AND operation. One of the input is 0, so output is 0, irrespective of the other input. So this is called null law. Next is identity law. So this operation is AND operation. So here you are having two variable, one constant, and this is constant and this is variable, and these are the two inputs. So one of the input is 1. So in AND operation, if both the inputs are 1, output will be 1. So here one of the input is 1. So the output depends upon the other input. If this input is 1, output is 1. If this input is 0, output is 0. So this law is called identity law. Then A into A is A. So if you take A is 1, then 1 into 1 is 1. If you take A is 0, 0 into 0 is 0. Next, A bar is 0. So you take A as 1. What is A bar? 0. Since this is an AND operation, both the input must be 1. Since one of the input is 0, output will be 0. Now you take A is 0. If you take A is 0, what is A bar? A bar will be 1. Here also one of the input is 0, so output will be 0. So this law is A bar is equal to 0. So we have to remember a few things. A dot 0 is 0, A dot 1 is A into A is A dot A bar is equal to 0. Similarly, the OR laws, A plus 0 is equal to A plus 1 is equal to 1, A plus A is equal to A plus A bar is equal to OR laws. Next we are going to see A plus 0 is equal to A. So what type of operation it is? OR operation. In OR operation, if one of the input is 1, the output will be 1. Here one of the input is 0. So the output depends upon the other input. If this input is 1, output is 1. If this input is 0, the output is 0. Okay. Now you come to the second one. This is OR operation. So if one of the input is 1, automatically the output will become 1. A plus A is A. You take A as 1. 1 plus 1 is 1. So you must remember one thing. In Boolean, 1 plus 1 is 1. The meaning is true plus true is true. So you should not confuse Boolean algebra with binary. In binary, 1 plus 1 is 1, 0. But in the case of a Boolean, 1 plus 1 is 1. But here in Boolean, the meaning of 1 is true. It is true. It is a logical operation, not a numerical operation. So in Boolean algebra, 1 plus 1 is 1. So since we are taking a is 1, 1 plus 1 is 1. Now you come to the next law. A plus a bar is 1. You take a as 1. What is a bar? 0. So what type of operation it is? OR operation. If OR operation, if one of the input is 1, what is the output? 1. Now you take a is 0. What is a bar? 1. So what type of operation? OR operation. So in OR operation, if one of the input is 1, the output will be 1. Now we are going for De Morgan's theorem. So De Morgan's theorem. There are two theorems in De Morgan's. The first one and the second one. So what De Morgan's theorem is saying is the complement of product. So in the left hand side you take the complements. Complements of product is equal to sum of complements. So while explaining the theorem, you have to remember like this. So in the left hand side, first you have to take the complements. Complements of the product is equal to sum of complements. This is the De Morgan's first law. Next, we are writing the truth table. So truth table is a table. It will give the information about the inputs and outputs. For what inputs, what output we are getting. That information we will be getting from the truth table. Okay. Now, what is the first law? What you have studied? A into B the whole bar is equal to A bar plus B bar. This is the first De Morgan's first law. So how many variables you are having? Two variables. This A and B are two variables. So if you are having n variables, you will be having 2 to the power n combination. So if you are having two variables, then you will be having 4 combination. In general, if you are having n variables, you will be having 2 to the power n combination. So you will be getting. So here you are having two variables. So we will be having 4 combinations. The 4 combinations are 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So these are the 4 combinations. So first we are finding A into B. So this is the LHS and this is the RHS. So A into B. What is 0 into 0? You'll be getting 0. Here you are barring this one. What is 0 bar? 1. What is 0 into 1? 0. Again you have to take the bar. Then 1 into 0, 0. Again you have to take the bar. Then what is 1 into 1? 1 into 1 is 1. You have to take the bar. So you'll be getting 0 here. Now we have to take we have to do this operation, that is A bar plus B bar. This is A. So what is A bar? 1. This is B. What is B bar? 1. Now we have to OR these one. A bar plus B bar. What is 1 plus 1? 1. Next A bar 0 here will be getting 1. Here 1 will be getting 0. So what is 1 plus 0? 1 plus 1, 0 is 1. Similarly 1. What is A bar? 0. B you are having 0. So 0 bar is 1. 0 plus 1, 1. Now what is 1 bar? 0. What is 1 bar? 0. Now you have to add these two. What is 0 plus 0? 0. So we have proved the De Morgan's first law. Similarly, the De Morgan's second law. So what the second law is saying is, you have to, already I have told you that you start from here. Complements of the sum is equal to product of complements. So this is the second law. Complement of sum is equal to product of complements. Now again we are verifying, you are writing the truth table and we are verifying. Here also we are having two variables A and B and we are verifying the truth table. Next is consensus theorem. So in consensus theorem, what they are saying is, if you are having three variables, that is like this, AB plus A bar C plus BC. So if you are having three variables like this, the variable which is having the complement, the variable which is having the complement and the true form of the term which is having the true form of the variable, that you have to consider, and the other one you have to neglect. This will be redundant and you have to neglect. First we are going to prove that consensus theorem, that is AB plus A bar C plus BC is equal to AB plus A bar C. We are going to prove. So we have taken the LHS, that is Y is equal to AB plus A bar C plus BC. Now if you are multiplying 1 with any number, will its value changes? No. So what we are doing is we are multiplying 1 with BC. So already we have studied that. What is A plus A bar? What is A plus A bar? A plus A bar is 1. So instead of 1, we are writing A plus A bar. Why? Because here you are having only B and C. So we are introducing the variable A. So in the place of 1, you are putting A plus A bar, because A plus A bar is 1. Now we are multiplying A, B, C, A bar, B, C. So here you are multiplying this BC with this number, you will be getting this. Now then what we are doing is we are rearranging this AB and this ABC. We are writing near, and this A bar C and this A B bar C we are writing near. Then we are taking AB common from these two. So we will be getting AB into 1 plus C. And from these two terms, we are taking A bar C. So here 1, here then B. 1 plus B we are getting. So first we are writing the LHS. Then what we are doing is, so first we are writing the LHS. Then what we are doing is, in the third term, we are multiplying the third term by 1. If you multiply 1 with any term, its value will not change. Then instead of this 1, we are putting A plus A bar. A plus A bar is 1. Already we have studied. A plus A bar is 1. So instead of this 1, we are writing A plus A bar. Then why we are putting A plus A bar means, here already you are having the variable B and C. So we are introducing the variable A. Then we are multiplying. Then we are writing A and ABC nearer, and this A bar BC and A bar C nearer. Then from this term and this term you are taking AB common. So we will be getting 1 plus C. And from this term and this term you are taking A bar C common. So you will be getting A plus B. So 1 plus C is 1. Already we have studied 1 plus C is 1. In OR operation, if one of the variable is 1, then the output is 1. So A, B here will be getting. Similarly, 1 plus B is 1. So we are getting Y is equal to AB plus A bar C. So this is something called consensus theorem. The conditions for applying redundancy theorem or consensus theorem. The consensus theorem is also called as redundancy theorem. So the conditions for applying the redundancy theorem is, three variables must present in the expression. Here we are using, in the consensus theorem, we are using the variables A, B and C. Each variable is repeated twice. Each variable must repeated twice. One variable must present in the complemented form. These are the three conditions for applying redundancy theorem or consensus theorem. Three variables must be present. Each variable must repeat twice, and one variable must present in complemented form. Now we will see an example. So we are having an expression AB plus BC bar plus AC. So there are three conditions to apply consensus theorem. There must be three variables. So three variables. We are having the variable A, the variable B, and the variable C. And the second condition is each variable should repeat twice. Here you are having A one time. Here you are having A one time. So two times it is having. Then B here one time, here two time. Then C here one time, here two time. So all the conditions are satisfied. So in consensus theorem, so the variable or the term which is having the here C is having complement. So this term and this term, it can't be neglected, and this term is redundant. This term AB is redundant. Now we can check. Here we are having three variables A, B, C. So here these two are we can't neglect, and this term AB is a redundant term. So we have applied the consensus theorem, and you have found out that the term AB is redundant. So I will tell once more. So for applying redundancy theorem or consensus theorem, you must have three variables. Here you are having three variables A, B, and C, and each variable must repeat twice. And next important condition, what should you remember means you will be having one variable in complemented form. So the term which is having that complemented form and the true form of that complemented variable. The C is the true form of that complemented variable. These two terms you should not uh, neglect, and this AB is the redundant term, and you should neglect this, and you have to consider this one. Another one example I will tell. AB plus AC plus A written two times, and B bar C. A we have written two times, B written two times, and C we have written two times. Now here you are having three variables, that is AB, AC, and B bar C. So all the three variables are repeating twice, coming twice. Now you are having one complemented variable. This B bar C is a complemental variable. So this B, this term you can't neglect, and this term you can't neglect, and this term is a redundant term. AC is a redundant term, and you can you can neglect this. This is redundant. This is the redundant term. Okay. Next to duality theorem. So what duality theorem is saying is, if you are having a Boolean relation or Boolean expression, so you are having a Boolean expression or a Boolean relation, and from that Boolean relation you can derive another Boolean relation by changing or sign to and sign, then changing and sign to or sign, complementing any 0 or 1 appearing in the expression. So what duality theorem is saying, you are having a Boolean expression or Boolean relation. From that Boolean relation, you can derive another Boolean relation by changing or to and. And if you're having and, then you convert it to or. Then if you're having 0, change it to 1. If you're having 1, you change it to 0. Next, so you're having a Boolean relation a plus a bar is equal to 1. So what your Boolean duality theorem is saying, you are having a Boolean relation. From this Boolean relation, you can derive another Boolean relation by changing or sign to and sign. So you are having an or sign, you change it to and sign. And if you are having 1, you have to change it to 0. So you'll be getting a into a bar is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. So this expression you are getting. So we have proved the duality theorem. Now redundant literal rule. So redundant literal rule is a plus a bar b is equal to a plus b. So a plus a bar b is equal to a plus b. Next, a into a bar plus b is equal to ab. So so here this you can prove like this. This a plus a bar b. So so you take this as x plus y z. So if you are having a relation as x plus y z, it can be written as x plus y into x plus z. Now, in the place of x, what you are having? A. In the place of y, what you are having? In the place of x, what you are having? A. In the place of y, you are having a bar. In the place of x, you have to put a. In the place of z, you are having b. So we know that what is a plus a bar? A plus a bar is 1. So 1 into a plus b. So a plus a bar b is equal to a plus b. So we have proved this one. Next one, a into a bar plus b is equal to ab. So you multiply a into a bar plus a with this b, ab. So we already studied that this is a bar is 0. So 0 plus ab is equal to ab. So we have proved. Next, absorption loss. A plus ab is equal to a. So here if you take a common, you'll be getting 1 plus b. So 1 plus b is 1. So you'll be getting a. Next, a into a plus b is equal to a. So you if you multiply, you'll be getting a into a plus a into a plus a b. So a into a is a. So you'll be getting a b. So if you take a common from these two, you'll be getting 1 plus b. So 1 plus b is 1. So you'll be getting a into a plus b is a. So this is absorption theorem. Next, step to reduce the Boolean expression. The first step is You have to multiply all variables necessary to remove the parenthesis. If you're having the parenthesis, you have to multiply the variables and you have to remove the parenthesis. Next, you have to look for identical terms. If there is any identical terms, you have to take it common. Only those terms to be returned and all others to be dropped. Next, we are going for an example. So here you are having an example that is AB plus AB plus AB plus AB. So here it is similar to A plus A plus A plus A. So we already studied an identity. What is A plus A? A plus A is A. So it is AB. So AB plus AB plus AB plus AB is AB. Next, we have to look for the variable and its negation in the same time. Negation is nothing but complement. Its variable and its negation in the same term. This term can be dropped. Why? Because if what is A into A bar, A into A bar is 0. So variable into its negation is 0. So we can drop that variable. Then next, this is the example. You are having a term A into B bar. So B bar is 0. So you'll be getting 0. Here AB into C bar. So C bar is 0. So look for pairs of terms that are identical except for one variable which may be missing in one of the terms. The large term can be dropped. So here you consider this example, then you will be clearly understand. Here you are having A, B, C bar, D, and here you are having A, B, C bar. So in these two terms, this A, B, C bar is common. So if you are having a two terms like this, then you can take A, B, C bar common, then you'll be getting D bar plus 1, 1 plus anything is 1, so you'll be getting A, B, C bar. So you have to look for pairs of terms that are identical except for one variable. Here only one variable is changing. All the others are same. So we have to look for pairs of terms that are identical except for one variable which may be missing in one of the terms. The large term can be dropped. So if you take that common things outside, that you will be getting that expression simplified. Next one is you have to look for pairs of terms which are having the same variables. Which are having the same variables with one or more variables complemented. If the variable in one term of such pair is complemented, while in the second term it is not, such terms can be combined into a single term with that variable dropped. So you consider this example. So here you are having A, B, C bar, D bar. Here you are having A, B, C bar, D. So the first three terms are same. So first three terms you are taking as common. Here you are having a complemented and here you are having an uncomplemented. So what is D plus D bar? D plus D bar is 1. So here also from these two, you consider this term A, B, C plus D plus AB into C plus D the whole bar. If you take AB common, then you'll be getting C plus D plus C plus D bar. So you can take this as A and this as A bar. So A plus A bar is 1. So you'll be getting A. So here you have to look for pairs of terms which are having the same. Again, I'm explaining the step. Look for pairs of terms that are identical except for one variable. So except for one variable. So you'll be having two terms. That two terms they are identical, but only one variable will be missing in one of the term. So if such a condition is there, we can drop a large term. So check this example. See here you are having two terms A, B, C bar, D. So the first term is having four variables and the second term is having only three variables. So in the second term, the variable D bar is missing. So what this step is showing is look for pairs of terms. Pairs means two terms that are identical. They are identical. First three terms are identical except for one variable. Except means the D only is missing in the second term. In the second term, the variable D is missing. So this large term can be reduced to a small one. So if you're having two terms and if only one term is missing in one of the term and all the other three variables are identical, then it can be reduced. Next, so we have to look for pair of terms. There are two terms which having the same variables, which will be having the same variables with one or more variables complemented. So we have to look for pair of terms. Two terms we have to take two terms. In these two terms, first you consider this one. It's example. Then you will understand clearly. So you consider these two terms A, B, C bar, D bar and A, B, C bar, D. So in the first term, the variable D is complemented. So look for pair of terms which are having the same variables with one or more variables complemented. In this example, this variable D is complemented. If the variable in one of the term of such pair is complemented, while the second term it is not, such terms can be combined into a single term with that variable dropped. So in if such condition is there, we can so if variable with one term of such a pair is complemented, while the second term it is not, this D is not complemented, such a term can be combined. These two can be combined into a single term and these two can be combined into a single term with the variable dropped. How means I will tell. So here you are having A, B, C bar, D bar plus A, B, C bar, D. So of these two terms, A, B, C bar is common. So in the first, the left literal is D bar. Here the left one is D. So when you are taking A, B, C bar common, you'll be getting D plus D bar. What is A plus A bar? A plus A bar is 1. So D plus D bar is 1. So A, B, C bar into 1. So we are getting this term. So we have dropped this variable and we have reduced it to A, B, C bar. Next example, A, B into C plus D plus A, B into C plus D the whole bar. So this is complemented. First two terms are same. You are taking it common. Then you are having C plus D plus C plus D bar. So you can take this as X. So you'll be getting X plus X bar. You take C plus D as X. So what is X plus X bar? X plus X bar is 1. So A, B into 1 is AB. Next, we are going for an example. F is equal to AB the whole bar plus AB the whole bar plus A bar plus AB the whole bar. This is the question. So this is a question and we have to reduce. First, before going into this problem, we have to study all the laws. We have studied some laws now. We have to study all those laws. Before going into the Boolean reduction problems, we are going to summarize the Boolean algebra rules and laws. The first law is a plus 0 is a plus 0 is a plus 1 is 1, a plus 0 is 0, a into 1 is a plus a is a, then a plus a bar is 1, then a into a is a into a bar is 0, a double bar is a plus ab is a plus a bar b is a plus b, a plus b into a plus c is a plus bc. Then commutative law a plus b is equal to b plus a, associative law a plus b plus c is equal to a plus b plus c. Similarly, distributive law a into b plus c is equal to a b plus a c. We have to remember these laws in order to do the Boolean reduction problems. Mainly, you have to remember this law a plus 1 is a, then a plus a is a plus a bar is 1, a into a is a into a bar is 0, a double bar is a, then a plus a bar b is equal to a plus b, then a plus b into a plus c is equal to a plus bc. These laws we have to remember. First, we are going to reduce the expression f of a b the whole bar plus a bar plus ab the whole bar. So this is this you can write it as a b bar plus a bar plus ab the whole bar. So first we have to, while getting an expression, we have to check which are the laws we can apply. So while seeing this, here you can apply De Morgan's law. A into B the whole bar is equal to A bar plus B bar plus A bar plus A B whole bar. So next we can apply another law. Here you are having A bar, here you are having A bar. So A plus A is A. So A bar plus A bar is A bar. So A bar plus B bar plus A B. Now we can rearrange this like this: a bar plus ab plus b bar. Now a bar plus ab is similar to a plus a bar b. So a plus a bar b is equal to a plus b, a plus b. Similarly, a bar plus ab is equal to a bar plus b plus b bar. What is b plus b bar? B plus b bar is 1. So a bar plus 1 the whole bar. What is 1 plus a? 1 plus a is 1. So 1 bar, that is equal to 0. Now we'll see the problem. So we are applying De Morgan's law. Then finally we are getting 0 as the answer. So I have clearly explained how we are getting the answer. So next we are having a problem. F is equal to a plus b into ac plus b plus c bar into d. So first what you have to do means you have to, so you can take a plus b into, so ac plus you multiply this. So BD plus uh, BD plus C bar D. After that, you multiply this with this B. So while writing, you write the literals in order. First you write A, then you write B, then you write C. Don't mix it. You write the literals in order. Now, first we have multiplied with this D, then we are multiplying with this V. So you should not write like this. You should write the literals in order. It is better. Next, from the first two terms, we are taking A common, and similarly from the third and fourth terms, you are taking B, D common. So here you are getting 1 plus BC. What is 1 plus BC? 1 plus BC is 1, and 1 plus C bar is 1. So your answer, what you are getting is A plus BD. So this is the answer.